All right. I am so excited. The fourth time is a charm. Um, so as you may be able to notice, I have a little bit of a cold. I'm losing my voice. So we're going to make this really short and sweet, but I really wanted to be able to share Margaret's story because we met about a week ago at the Regenerative Business Retreat, and her story was just so powerful and so profound. And myself and everybody else pretty much in the room was just in tears at how deeply these foods and this mission and everything have just impacted her life. So I really wanted to share that with you guys. And so, if we can welcome Margaret, if you can just share a little bit about yourself and what you were experiencing before and how it's changed, that would be amazing. Thanks for being here.
It's my pleasure, Jen. It was awesome to be there with all of you wonderful spirits. And so basically, the reason why I went to the retreat was I wanted to shake the hand of the man who saved my life, who gave my children back their mother and my grandchildren back their nana. A little backstory. This time, actually, last year, my health was deteriorating very, very quickly. I had had before, um, I am an RN. I was working as a nurse. I weighed 165 pounds. I was living my best life and things were good. I had oral surgery and developed an infection and was put on antibiotics. I developed C. diff, ended up in the emergency room. 8 weeks later, came down with another case of C. diff, which literally like destroyed me. It was, I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, um, and just continued to lose weight, just continued to be weak. So it literally, this time of year, is when it got really, really bad last year. I ended up unable to watch my grandchildren. I was unable to work. I was unable to get out of the lazy boy recliner in my bedroom because I was so weak and I was just losing weight. And the only thing I could eat was soft things, so yogurts and powdered donuts and basically just crap. And I was just so sick. And I went to the doctors and they did all sorts of tests and everything came back negative. So they basically said to me, increase your diet by 2 ensures a day, and we'll Zoom call you in 6 weeks. Well, at that point, I weighed 108 pounds. Almost 5'9". So I was literally starving to death. I was dying of malnutrition. I could feel it, and no one could help me. I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on supplements and powdered shakes and all this stuff, and nothing was working. And in a moment of desperation, I did a Google search and I live in New England, so it was the middle of winter, and I just needed warmth on my body. I needed to be warm. I couldn't get warm. So I found a retreat house in Peoria, Arizona called Blistopia, and I contacted them and I told them what was going on, and they were like, come, just come. So this was Mother's Day weekend that I went on a retreat there. And I got there, and the owner, Mark, took one look at me and literally he was like, oh my God, like, how did you even get here? I was just so weak and it was just skin and bones. That's all I was. So he said to me, I've been drinking this power shake. He's like, would you like to try it? And I'm like, I will try anything at this point. So for 3 days, he made me two shakes a day and I drank them. And I couldn't believe it. By like day three, I started to feel like life back in my body. And I was able to, I had chronic constipation to the point where you could actually see the bowels and you could feel it in my intestines, in my stomach. And I was able to stop moving my bowels and having like a normal bowel movement. So when I got home, the first thing I did was just get online and order this stuff. And for the first, I'm gonna say for about the first month, I just did the power shake because I'm a nurse and I was like, if I'm gonna have any reactions or if anything's gonna go on, if I just stop pouring all this stuff into my body, I'm not gonna know what's happening. So I just was doing the green shakes, and I couldn't believe the difference in myself, like my energy, my clarity. And so I started adding the supplements to it, and proud to say that 5 months later, after numerous trips visiting my new friends who own a retreat house in Arizona, I now weigh 130 pounds. And my family can't believe the difference. I mean, my energy level, I look so much better. I feel so much better. It saved my life. It's amazing, and the listening to everybody's stories on the retreats, the fibromyalgia, the irritable bowel, the leaky gut. I mean, everybody has all this stuff going on, and everybody was saying the same thing. Um, we're not getting the nutrients that we need to be getting from our food supply. And like I said, I'm a nurse, so I know a lot about nutrition. And I've tried a lot of different things, and this is just what's been working for me, and it's amazing. It truly is.
Yes, that is so amazing. And you're right. I just posted something recently about insurers, how we just, usually we give them to like elderly people who can't eat or, younger kids who are fussy and don't eat. And these things are just really, really not good for our bodies. They're really not supportive. And the things that we work with are just food. Like it's just grown in good soil and it's never heated. And, you were experiencing that in your body.
Mhm.
That's incredible.
And even I've had to have, 2 surgeries since that, original one, and I'm actually scheduled, for another one at the end of November to fix what was damaged with the first time. And the doctor who was doing these surgeries was so worried about me because I was so frail. And I said to him, "Don't worry about this, doc. Like, I got it. I've discovered this, like, super shake that it's funny, Jen, like, my body craves it, like, literally, like, you have a craving for McDonald's, you have a craving for nothing like that. It's almost like my body's like, "Wow, we found this really great stuff, and we have to keep, did you have your shake? Did you have your," and I drink it all the time. See, I'm trying to put weight on, so
Mhm.
for me, like, I drink my shakes all day long. But for other people, and that's the thing I love about it is that you can do whatever you want with it. Like it's not a one size fits all type thing like everything else is. We're all unique. We're all different. We all have unique fingerprints. So it's not a one size fits all. You can add this, and I found a couple of really great things at the retreat that when I got home, I was online ordering that, like the carrot juice and the
Yeah.
cocoa hydrate and stuff. So yeah, it's amazing. And Dave's
Yeah.
awesome too. I
I
did get to
know.
shake the hand of the man. He actually sat on a swing with me and
Mm.
like sat and listened to my story and cried with me. Literally. He said to me, he
Yeah.
goes, "I didn't do anything." And I said, "Dave, you had a vision and you stuck with that vision. And because of that, I said, I'm your starfish. I'm the starfish that you saved. And because of him, my family has me back again because I couldn't do anything. I couldn't cook for my kid. Like I couldn't do anything because I was so weak and so sick.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
And that's,
5 months ago. Yeah.
yeah, that's unfortunately the reality for a lot of people. And it's so sweet that that Dave, the owner, was sitting with you and, he's so modest and humble and it's so beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. And available. I
Yeah.
mean, how many, you know, business owners do you know like that would do? I mean, he was there answering questions every single night for us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love what you said too about, you're trying to gain weight and, a lot of people are trying to lose weight. That was my story. But it's really not about losing weight or gaining weight. It's about bringing your body into balance, and for you, that's weight gain. For me, that was weight loss. So it's really, I never like to say that it's like a weight loss thing because losing weight, gaining weight, it's all just a beautiful side effect when we bring our bodies into balance.
Into the alignment. And I think what's happening with this is when you are taking in all of this awesome, good stuff that your body needs, the other foods that you're eating are now being able to be used by the body. I mean, you could
Exactly.
be like eating protein and you can be doing all the great thing, but if your body doesn't have the building blocks that it needs to process all this, then it's really all for naught. And this
Yeah.
you can use for your pets. You can use this for your children. I mean, for your grandmother. It's for anybody and everyone. That
Yeah.
to me is the wonderful piece. Is again, it's not, for the guy that just goes to the gym and works out because that ain't me. you
Right.
know that's not me. So that's what I think is that the most powerful takeaway for me is that you can supplement what you're already doing in your life and give you like where I live in New England, like the growing season is ending, so any vegetables or fruits that we're going to get are going to be shipped in from California, Chile, or wherever they come from. We know, Jen, that if you pull a fruit or a vegetable off a vine before it's ripening time, you're losing so many vital nutrients. Then you've got the whole shipping process. So by the time it gets to our plate, literally there's nothing left in it for nutrients. And
Yeah.
that's why we're seeing so much sickness. People are
Hmm.
trying to do the right thing and trying to eat the right things, but it's just not there in the products that they're buying.
Yeah. And even in the soils in general, the soils are just so depleted from pesticides and everything. And then, we're cooking foods on top of that. So it's just, the food was here and now it's here and now it's here and now it's here and now
Right.
it's at your plate. Like that's something that's just so beautiful about this too is that it's picked when it's vine ripened and ready and then it's dehydrated immediately at a low temperature. We're never cooking anything, a lot of companies, they may have good ingredients, but they're cooking it at a high temperature because it's more efficient in terms of business, but you know, at the cost of the nutrient density of the
Yeah.
food. So this really just it makes all the difference. If you can just do one good thing for your body today, like it's always the power shake for me. It's always, if I can just do one thing, even if I'm traveling or my day's crazy, like if I can get that one thing in, my body thanks me for it.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what I love about it also, because again, I never have been to Arizona in my life. I'm 60 years old. I've been there 4 times since Mother's Day and also went to California. And I can bring this with me everywhere I go. So when I get to the airport and I'm stuck at a layover and I'm looking around at my food choices there and they're not very good, all I have to do is buy a water. And that's all I have to do is buy a water. I've got my little baggie with my I label them in case they open my thing. They don't think I'm a drug runner or something. I have all my little baggies with my power shakes in it, and I can just throw it in my shaker right there in the airport. And I know I'm good. I know I'm good. I'm getting the nutrition that I need to hold me over. So it's been wonderful for me.
Yeah, that's what I did too. And then I don't have like the cravings and stuff because I'm actually nourished and getting what I need. So I'm not like grabbing for all these snacks and treats and all that stuff. And yeah,
My
it makes the
way
big
home
difference.
On my way home from California, I was over at Arizona, and I had gotten to the airport and I was like, I feel like a little something, something, something. And I bought a bag of M&Ms, right? And so I had like 5 of them. And I'm like, I don't, and so I just rolled them up and put them back in my bag. And I was on the plane and I had like 5 more, but I literally brought them home with me. They were in the pantry and my son was eating them the other night. I'm like, hey, you can have those. Cause I would have downed a bag of those like without a thought before, but my body was just like, it just, it just wasn't, it didn't taste right. It just, you know what I mean? It was almost like, why am I even eating this? It's not satisfying to me. So, I mean, who doesn't eat a bag of M&Ms? There's definitely something wrong with me or right with me.
Yeah, I've definitely had my fair share my entire life, and now I don't. Like the thought doesn't even cross my mind to have it because I don't I genuinely don't want it anymore. I genuinely don't care, you know? So it's beautiful that you're going through those shifts and you're like, "Hey, like I used to love this and now, it's not giving me what it used to give me and, I'm craving more of the good things." That's exactly what we want, we want to feel really good and we want more of the good stuff and
Yeah. And I think, the minute your body realizes that, wow, I'm really getting some good stuff here that makes me feel good. You do a complete turnaround with the junk food. It's crazy because I was living off of that stuff because I had my grandchildren here. They didn't eat their peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I did. Just like grazing and picking on junk. And now it's like all good food that I eat. And I can tell that I'm metabolizing it because, again, I'm putting the weight on. People say, oh, yeah, goals to weigh 130 pounds. Well, it is a goal for me. Like, that's a huge goal to be at that weight in like literally 5 months. That's a huge goal.
that is
So,
amazing. I'm
yeah.
so happy for you. I'm so grateful that you came to the retreat and were able to meet Dave and shake
Yeah.
his hand. And I'm so, so happy that you have your life back.
Oh,
It's,
so,
yeah,
yeah,
sometimes we don't realize how much our health matters until it's kind of taken
so
away from us.
on. And again, I'm a registered nurse, so it's like, and I had a hard time. We actually just did a walk this past weekend to support suicide. We lost my brother in August, and I was able to be there. I was able to be there and chase after my grandchildren and be part of that. And I wouldn't have been. I probably honestly would have been dead because there was not much left of me. At 108 pounds, like, imagine what that would look like. It was bad. It was really bad.
Yeah,
So I'm just so grateful to have an opportunity and to meet all these wonderful people and to be able to share. And so I ended up getting a test done. I had to fight to get this test, and I was diagnosed with SIBO. So that's small intestine bacteria overgrowth.
yeah.
Um, And again, I'm not saying that I'm cleared from it, but I'm certainly 95% better than I was
Right.
before. I have to be careful what I eat, like no sugars. The sugars, the carbs, all that stuff,
Yeah.
that's what the bacteria feeds off of.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
careful about what I eat.
I actually had that too. I didn't realize that I had it, but looking back now and being more connected into the SIBO community,
Mhm.
I'm like, wow, I had that and I didn't know it. So, and I don't have it anymore. So that's just incredible when we can bring our bodies into balance,
Yes, the natural way,
right?
the
Right.
way
To
we were
be fully
created.
supportive.
Yes, not
Yeah.
with, you know, medicines, but with food. Well,
Right.
like Socrates says, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food,
Yeah.
right?
It
That's what
truly
we need.
is.
Yeah.
It truly is. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time with me and sharing your story. Is there any last final words you want to say before we go?
No, just that I'm just thrilled to be a part of this. I'm thrilled that, I had the opportunities that I did, that Mark and Lana were there for me to help me. I tell them that now they're stuck with me for life because they saved my life too. And I just say that so I can keep going to their retreat house.
That is not a bad thing. I'm sure
It's
it's
awesome.
beautiful.
It's awesome. It really is.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again. I
You're
hope you have a
welcome,
beautiful
sweetie.
day, and I'll be sharing this to Facebook too.
Awesome. I hope you feel better soon, sweetie.
Thank you. I'll
I'll
rest
talk
my
to you later.
voice. Have a good one.
You too. Bye bye.